Friar Lawrence is a character of contradictions. He at first seems like a good, honest fellow who helps Romeo with his philosophy and his advice. But at the end, he gives Juliet the sleeping potion, and he also decides to marry the two lovers just to make the feud end. Both of those latter choices seem very political and conniving. Friar Lawrence is also a very strange fellow. He picks flowers and herbs in the hopes of finding something with his collections. It seems that he makes potions or liquids out of what he collects in the field, and that's something that a priest won't do, especially a Catholic priest in Verona, Italy. Maybe he is just trying to find something in his spare time. He may not be the best priest ever. It is reasonable, though, to assume that he can be different, whatever you may think. Shakespeare put that for a reason. Without Friar Lawrence, Romeo would have died in Act 3. He is very diplomatic. He knows what to say at the right time. He is a father to Romeo. But also, throughout the rest of the play, he is part of the catalyst for Romeo and Juliet's death. Now, Juliet didn't exactly die from the potion. She did wake up. So technically, Friar Lawrence is an evil. But to the city of Verona, it's something that can be viewed as evil if the city of Verona found out that he had given the potion to Juliet. He describes in his first monologue, there's two such opposing kings that encamp them in man as well as herbs, and that is grace and rude will, or good and evil. Perception will decide what's good or evil. One person can think that Romeo and Juliet should not be married, and that could be their parent. But to Romeo and Juliet themselves, it's the wonderful and good thing to them. In fact, it's the right thing. The Friar Lawrence is kind of a symbol of contradictions, of good and evil, grace and rude will. He is not a plot device, but he is there to give this philosophy. Are the parents evil for not letting the two lovers marry, or are the two lovers evil because they aren't following their parents' instruction? Both of those points are debatable. If Friar Lawrence was not there, then where would Romeo and Juliet be then? That's a very important question. If you take out any character in the play, then the play wouldn't work, or would go in a completely different direction. But he is not the murderer of Romeo and Juliet. His philosophy towards Romeo can go to any man or woman out there. I made a book that is a symbol of his goodness, and his sleeping potion is kind of a poke at his evil. Both of my gimmicks show sides of Friar Lawrence.
Romeo and Juliet ends in death, but really it ends in birth. And Friar Lawrence is part of that birth. He himself was a little wary about giving Juliet the potion, but he learned that it was the wrong thing to do.
Important character, maybe a botanist, Catholic priest, good and evil. He is part of the fate that guides Romeo and Juliet to their graves.